Crypto's next big moonshot is loading right now. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's ultimately the big move across the board. We are about to witness the last major significant move of the cycle. But before we get there, we are going to chop, we're going to consolidate, and that's what's happening right now. In this video, I'm going to be going over a ton of information, really kind of supporting the idea of this next big moonshot and what to expect. And I also want to just stress real quick to everyone that is kind of new around here, make sure that you are studying the charts. Make sure that you guys are learning patterns because, a lot of people think that like TA doesn't matter at all in this space, but learning patterns, understanding how things move, understanding the inner workings of how these markets trade, it's very, very important. And, it could definitely help you along the way because even during the bull run, we will have significant volatile moves that could cause a lot of panic to those that don't understand how this market moves. So with that being said, let's talk about a few things. We're going to be going over a lot of information, but first, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And also, if you guys do want to learn more about charts, learn more about how this market is moving, definitely join up in the free Discord. There's a ton of great free information in there. So what are you guys waiting for? Join up. And with that in mind, let's talk about a few things. Let's actually address Bitcoin first, because if we go back on the monthly, we could see that this thing has been chopping for the most part. Even if we look at the 1 year and we go to the candles, we could see that ever since roughly the middle of November, I mean, we were definitely starting to pump into the beginning of November, but since like roughly the middle half of November, Bitcoin hasn't had any really significant movement. I know that it went from 90K to almost like 10K or so, which is a big move, technically speaking, but we're talking about the big impulsive moves. Like, for an example, going from 67,000 up to almost 110K, which it did do if we're talking about the long-term span here on Bitcoin. But now we're consolidating. The entire market has been chopping and consolidating. Even XRP on the monthly has been chopping sideways, consolidating. And I did make a post saying consolidation before we go absolutely parabolic in Q1 of 2025. Because I do believe that right now, almost all of these charts, most of the altcoin market has just been kind of chopping since the beginning of December. We're cooling off for almost a whole month. I do think that we are about to witness a very big Q1 of 2025 for all of crypto. But I do want to put a spotlight on some of these projects like XRP because guess what? The narrative is starting to change. Now, first, let's go over here from Alley Charts. We have if XRP can hold above $2.20, which so far it has been, it might consolidate for a while before taking another shot at the $2.70 resistance. But if the $2.20 support breaks, a downswing to $1.96 becomes imminent. And yes, if we actually take a look at the chart, even just looking at, coin market cap, for an example, and we look at the candle bodies here, I keep telling you guys that so far we have been holding this $2.20 support zone, which is very good to see. I want to watch to see if this is going to hold and maintain even tonight's weekly candle close, because it's definitely going to be a big, telling sign of what's going to happen next for XRP. But I do think that we should be retesting that $2.70 plus breakout one more time. Is it going to happen tonight? Is it going to happen over the next week? We don't know, but I would be expecting that by, of course, the end of this month. And if we do break out, then Q1 is going to be very, very bullish for XRP. Now, on top of this chart breakdown from Alley Charts, we also have over here 20.5 million in short positions will be liquidated if XRP rebounds to $2.62. And that's not that high above the level that we are currently trading at. And if we're thinking about liquidations, remember that they're a cascading event. So if we start to see, shorts being liquidated on XRP, they pile up quick. And if shorts are being liquidated, it actually pushes the price even higher. I do think that right now, a lot of people are expecting the market to basically be done. XRP's topped out. We're not going to have any, other significant moves in the market. But that's extremely inaccurate, especially when we look at these charts. They're not showing us that we should be bearish yet. The pattern, everything about them, the structure is still very bullish. And I keep telling you guys this because I want you guys to understand that we are watching manipulative movement in this market. We're being manipulated to believe that the top is in, that the cycle is done, right before we go absolutely crazy. Now, on top of these two posts, over here we also have over 80 million XRP bought up by whales since December 17th. And we have been watching a lot of XRP being moved around and accumulated. Even over here, we have in the past 24 hours, 182 million XRP was moved. We have been watching this pile up. Yes, some of this is just, whales moving around XRP, but we've also been watching a lot of XRP being accumulated by whales. I think that, the smart money realizes where the space is headed. It doesn't really take someone that is an expert at these things to tell you, like, listen, 2025 is going to be very bullish for XRP. It's going to be very bullish for crypto. I mean, even if we go over here from Mario Anolfo's post, we have crypto's next level. From moon missions to real world moves. The next crypto bull run isn't just about pumps. It's about use cases. Blockchain is breaking into big industries like healthcare, real estate, and DeFi, proving it's not just a tech flex. Big players are stepping in too. Governments are rolling out CBDCs, and Ethereum's upgrades are fixing scalability and energy use. It's now a sphere of hot utility, not just speculation. 2025 could be the year crypto goes from niche to necessity. And I think that, as we start to see these narratives heating up, everyone is going to start researching utility-based projects. And what's funny about this is that we have been on this, hype machine, if you will, for a while now. Utility to me is the golden goose. It is the thing that everyone should be looking at around crypto because, when we look at meme coins, for an example, sure, you're going to be making potential, life-changing gains, but how much money are you going to lose trying to chase that? And at what point do we accept that it's just gambling? We're basically trying to, hit big, and we're going through all these rug pulls and all these scams, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to win. When we think about meme coins, yeah, there's some that make it, there's some that don't. And could you make gains pretty quick? Yeah, you can. But to me, the biggest tsunami wave of wealth will be made through these utility-based projects once they are fully incorporated and integrated within the system. We're talking about industries like healthcare, real estate, tech. I mean, this tech is huge for AI, for an example. The tech world is waking up to this space. NVIDIA and Intel just started to work with Hedera. So everything is starting to change. Finance is definitely a big one to focus on, which we're starting to see become, completely revolutionized by this tech. This is why I keep focusing on the utility-based projects. And also over here, we have new SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce believes the incoming SEC chair will prioritize crypto, stating the acting chair can start working on things that are a priority. And one of those issues is going to be crypto. And yes, I do think that in 2025, the whole anti-crypto thesis, I think that the whole, war on crypto, I think that that's going to be done. I think that that's going to be finished. And also, talking more so about XRP, if we're thinking about just the whole hype cycle of utility pumping the price of XRP, well, we also have to think about what other catalysts are behind XRP. And if we go over here, we have, as we prepare for Paul Atkins to take over from, Gary Gensler, a new piece by J.W. Verrett warns that if the SEC Gov doesn't drop the Ripple case altogether, it's courting judicial suicide. Now, somebody did say, do you think Atkins will drop it or take the settlement already reached? And we have the sitting commissioners. So let me zoom back up. The sitting commissioners will have to vote, and the chairman decides the agenda and what is put forward for a vote. That all said, Professor Verrett is laying out the stark realities on taking this important case up the appellate ladder. It also points out how incredibly reckless Gary Gensler and his crew have been all this time. And yes, listen, as we think about what's going on with this case, there's still a lot of weight behind this case. Not around XRP mainly, simply because, XRP got cleared as not a security, so we don't really have to worry about that. The big thing about this case that's still left over is institutional sales from Ripple's end around XRP. And a lot of people think that it's actually a bad thing that, they get cleared on this, because they will be selling XRP over the counter, not on the open market, to institutions, which could then again, come back and sell XRP on the, open market. There's a lot of problems with this, obviously, that, people have been mentioning for a while now. But to me personally, this is the last major thing, the last major obstacle that's kind of keeping institutions from utilizing XRP and the XRPL in a big way. I think that once this case is completely gone, we will start to witness Ripple and XRP adoption heating up in a very significant way. And I think that that's, one thing that I have been focused on. It's one thing that we have been waiting to kind of get cleared up. So I do think that in 2025, if we are starting to see a pro crypto admin, taking office, and we start to see the SEC completely be realigned, then I do think that we will most likely see the steps taken in order to have this case put behind us. And if that is, something that does happen, then I do think that XRP holders should prepare for a big moonshot for XRP, because this case, once it's completely gone and the headlines pick up, guess what? XRP is going to explode just off of that catalyst alone. We're not even talking about utility. We're not even talking about all of the other catalysts like the RLUSD stablecoin, tokenization, new amendments, the derivatives exchange with Bitstamp. We're not even talking about any of that. We're just talking about this one thing, and this one thing would pump XRP to a new all-time high, but I also think to significant highs as well. And last but not least, I do want to play a video clip, and this is from Brad Garlinghouse. Because again, if we go back to Mario's post over here, if we're taking crypto to the next level, which is, from all the hype and speculative cycles to the real world moves, aka utility. If we're thinking about this, what is one, company in the space that has been promoting utility for well over a decade now? Well, it's been Ripple. And if we go over here, this is Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO. Our customers are banks, financial institutions, and payment providers. We use XRP to facilitate those transactions. Check this out.
Think about our business as a very global business. 95% of our customers are non-US customers. About 40% of our business is in the Asia Pacific region in terms of payment flows. And again, our customers, Ripple the company, our customers are banks, financial institutions, payment providers. We use the XRP ledger, and we use the token XRP to kind of facilitate these transactions. Some people get confused about which is which, but Ripple the company, our customers are all these banks and financial institutions. Think about our business as a very.
And if we really think about all of the players that are tied back to Ripple, I mean, majority of them are some of the largest banks out there. And I didn't even mention the central banks that Ripple also has tapped in. I mean, if we're really addressing what's going on, all right, and we take a zoomed out view of the overall landscape, and I'm not even just talking about, crypto in general. I'm talking about the traditional world. We look at all of these organizations, we look at the biggest names out there. They have been promoting use of DLT in all of these major industries and sectors. But one name always comes up in question, which is Ripple. We look at the IMF, the BIS, the World Bank, Ripple. PDF files, documents, Ripple is always brought up. And I say this because, if we're really thinking about what's happening here, if we are starting to usher into the utility age of crypto, one player becomes a major giant. That's Ripple. Why? Because they've been around for well over a decade. They have been building bridges to the big banks, to the institutions, to the payment providers, to the central banks, to the organizations that are pulling the strings around finance. And with this, with how successful Ripple becomes, the XRP ledger and XRP also become extremely successful. So if we are ushering into the utility cycle, listen, I think outside of the utility cycle, utility is becoming a big narrative. It's becoming a big narrative with the adoption of regulations. I do think that this is going to set this market ablaze in a big way. And utility-based projects like XRP, XLM, HBAR, QNT, Algorand, Casper. I mean, these are projects that, in my opinion, are going to surge in a massive way. And I think that a lot of people are just not prepared for this. I think that a lot of people are still kind of on the fence. They don't believe what's going to happen. But if we go back to just a few months ago, nobody believed that XRP would be trading at $2 plus today. Nobody thought that the market would be trading, as high as it did in the month of December. I mean, Bitcoin hit 108K. A lot of people thought that it was impossible for Bitcoin to go to 100K by the end of the year. So again, to me personally, everyone should be focused on what happens in 2025. And it feels as though the overall, landscape of things is looking very bullish for a lot of moonshots. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.